Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and you guys, of course, are my co-host along with Brother Nate. And Happy New Year to everyone, and welcome to those of you who are sitting in the luxurious balcony seats. Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you guys had a great holiday season. And now that it is over, we can get back to business as usual. What is going on, everybody? Hey, Tanari. Hey, Goddess. What's going on? Queen Diva, how are you? Houston Bread, nice to see you. Miss T Velocity, always great to see you. Welcome, Brother Nate. Let me know when you're ready. Like I said, I hope everybody had a great holiday season, a great Merry Christmas, and a blessed and happy New Year. And I wish everybody the very best on this new year and new things and new adventures to partake in, because it's fresh and ready to go. How are you,
Good
Brother
evening.
Nate?
Good evening. I'm doing fine, man. And yourself?
I'm okay. I'm hanging in there.
Tanari, happy birthday, baby. Happy birthday,
Yes. Oh
girl.
my gosh. Yes. Happy birthday, Tanari. Happy birthday. Hope you had a blessed one.
Definitely.
We definitely was not around last week. I thought I'd give you all a break a little bit. To
I hope you all use it for good things.
goodness gracious. Um, so yeah, and please, while you're at it, please wish Tanari a happy birthday in the chat. Thank you, Houston Bread.
Yes.
She definitely, if she's not in person, she's definitely from the sniper tower, just knocking people left and right.
That's
Every
right.
time I check that.
Tanari, do headshots. This is 2022. We doing the headshots this year. Houston Bread, Miss T, Patty.
It's tomorrow. That's fine. It's early.
Okay, it'll work
it's
today.
Always great with a good early birthday.
Matter of fact, you ought to go for the whole month.
Right. Exactly.
Don't be
hey,
cheap.
Patty, how are you? Say your name.
Houston Bread. Houston Bread.
Yes.
Thick necks.
Thick neck. Was this from today?
No, this wasn't from today. No, this was from last week. Now, I always knew I had a thing for studs, but I didn't know it was the thick necks that just does it.
I don't even want to know. I got to catch up. I definitely have to catch up on the thick neck theory. But
yeah, Miss T, it's good to see you.
Yes, it is great to see you guys. They have some strong necks, do they?
Oh yeah, they got strong necks.
Oh Lord.
Queen Diva, how you doing, darling? Hope you're feeling better.
We'll get into that. All right. So it's so much going on. So much has went on. Excuse me, I had to get my phone because it's down here charging. So much is going on since we last spoke. A lot. So let's get it started and get it out the way so we can move right along with so much of the content. So let's just get into it. All right. So where to begin? Do we talk about the people that left the earth, or we talk about the people that's not? That's
well, do the left the earth first.
Huh?
Do left the earth first.
All right. So, of course, most recently, there was America's White Dad, Bob Saget. I guess.
Well, he wasn't problematic, was he?
No, not really. But my whole theory is how media perpetrates things.
Oh, okay.
He's America's dad. Are we going to talk about that he was dead in a hotel doing God knows what? Are we going to know how he died and what he died from? But
was there drug paraphernalia?
Right.
Did somebody clean up before everybody else got there?
Right. Did the police take pictures of his body sitting around with drugs and booty butt naked and all this other kind of stuff like other people have been done?
He ain't like he was in that good enough shape. I don't want to see that.
I don't know. So it just, things that make you go, the same way they did like Bill Cosby and exposed him. He was supposed to be America's dad too. You see what they did to him. So I'm just curious to see what's going to happen through this whole thing. But prayers go out, to his family. Of course, nobody wants to see anybody's life be ended in that way in such a shocking manner. But at the same time, it's just funny to me, just things as Arsenio used to say, make you go, about how the different celebrities who are father figures in, media or growing up are treated. So
yeah, remember what happened to Kung Fu?
Right.
Found him hanging in that closet,
right,
naked, dick in hand, and belt around his neck. He was gone.
You know what? I'm not going there with you right now.
'Tis a new year.
I'm not going there with you right now. So, then of course, there's the great actor Sidney Poitier, who died at 94. Surrounded by his family, his daughters, 6 daughters at that. Well, one daughter had preceded him in death, but his other 5 daughters. So that's interesting. Excuse the noise. I am washing clothes, but
yeah, so am I.
So, yeah, that, and of course, Betty White. And I think Betty done took a whole lot of people with her. Betty was like, "Hell, come on, let's go." And she just been snatching, right? She just been snatching people left and right. And Betty White, has left us, and at 99, just right before 14 days before her actual 100th birthday. They say reports is that she had a stroke.
She had a stroke in her sleep.
That she had a stroke in her sleep. And so I just,
you know what she was probably saying? She was probably saying, "Fuck this shit! I ain't staying around for 3 more goddamn weeks. I get the hell on out of here."
Right? Yeah. I mean,
may not be able to catch the bus at the rate things are going.
Right. At that, she probably was just ready to go. And I mean, at that point, it's like, everybody. I'm sure that
tired. You get tired of being tired.
Yeah. That she's, been around, has passed on, and it was like, hey, nobody left here.
I mean, she had a good run.
Right.
To be able to maintain her faculties.
Right, and still be in show business. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And also the last Black World War II veteran,
yes,
that died. He was 112.
Yes.
I don't think I want to be around that long.
Well, if everything is working, I don't mind it.
I didn't care if 25% of this shit working. I don't want to be around that long. Because then it's like, who's going to take care of them? It smells like pee all the time, or something like that.
Yeah, that's true too. Welcome to everybody who's popped in the chat. What's up, Avatar Nation? Hey, Pink, Starbella, how are you?
Hey, Pink.
Nice to see everybody. So that was that. Of course, on the justice side of things, the 3 Stooges, the 3 KKK Gold Star cadets.
So many.
The Gold Star cadets got their sentence this past Friday. And the first thing I will say, if you have not checked out the speech from the judge, his remarks, please watch those 12 minutes of profound, unadulterated, just straight, you fucked up, kind of in the most nice, whitest way that he could, without being biased, tell these other people in his kind of age range and bracket that you went too far, you fucked up. This is crazy. I thought it was well said. The sister and the mother, kudos to them. I thought their statements really reached to the gut of what was going on. The father, I'm gonna hold my tongue on that. I'm gonna just hold my tongue on that. But if you can just check out their statements, their closing remarks for the victims' remarks. Do check it out, and do check out the judge's sentiment. So basically, the 2 men, the father and the son, are going to be in jail for the rest of their life, pretty much. And the third,
no hope of parole.
No parole. Third gentleman, however, he has a possibility of parole. So, and that's just on state side. We haven't even gotten to the federal case yet.
No, that's the 3rd of February, I believe.
Right. So that's coming up. So, surprise to see what that'll bring. If that'll bring an additional double.
They might as well just hanging out. They're not coming out.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Just
maybe they want to get the coconut oil.
No, stick with the Crisco for them. Stick with the Crisco.
I don't know. They got microwaves in there now.
They got a lot of things in there now.
And they're going to get a lot of things.
Do you think so?
They'll probably be in protective custody.
Yeah, I think so.
They're definitely.
I think it'll be somewhat of a cushioned life. We won't know the ins and outs and the details of their day-to-day. They'll feed us, of course, what they think that we'll like to hear about.
Well, it depends too on whether or not they go to federal. It all depends.
You think they'll move them?
I really do. They're such a high profile; they'll be dead before the years.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll be locked down for 23 hours a day and 1 hour for to go outside, or maybe 2 hours a day. They'll have their food brought to them. They'll go in the shower alone. But who's to say one day that guard doesn't slip up and let somebody slide in there? I mean, in the shower, slide in there.
Yeah, but I think again, this is still Georgia we're talking about. There's still some good old boys, and that's as we can tell from what happened. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, y'all. As we can tell of what happened, there's still some good old boys in the system.
Oh, yeah, but they got some black guys in there too.
Yeah,
and at the rate COVID running through those prisons, you never know what the shortage is.
No, I do not have dryers, just using the dryer. But when you had something in there that is really kicking, it's probably like a belt or something because she doesn't ever take her stuff out. But
you better check it though. It's money in washing clothes. I clean up.
Please.
I clean up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
not around certain folks. They smell it. They be like, "Oh, but no, I left something in there. I left something in there." No, hold up.
What is that? That's not a sock.
That's not a sock. All right. So, in other news, of course, Kyle Rittenhouse, the young man who bought Kyle Rittenhouse the gun, is taking a plea deal. Are we not surprised about that one? Is he going to do any time really with this plea deal?
No, it sounds as though he's just going to get slap on the wrist.
Slap on the wrist. Right. And, slap on the wrist and probation.
May have a charge for buying a firearm for underage because he was 17 at the time when he bought the weapon for him. No, it's a no-win thing. Nobody. They won. They got away with it. They are able to walk free. But the other two people, that he murdered, because he's still a murderer.
Right.
And the one that he injured, he's not going. They're not going to do any time behind that stuff.
Yeah.
That's those white boys looking out for those white boys. Now that's a cut and dry case there.
Yeah, that's definitely a privilege thing. Something quick that came when you sent me this story. It reminded me of New Year's, when I headed back to school many moons ago, and we had to leave. We had to evacuate because of bomb threats. We were close near Klan type of area, and they had threatened to come and attack the school. And the school thought it important to just tell us go home.
It was like they told you. You made it sound as though they had to think about it.
Yeah, no, I mean. They did for like a day because it was rumors.
Wow, you kidding?
No, but I'm saying it was rumors that this was happening. As we were on our way coming back from winter break, from Christmas and all that. It was rumors that they were getting them, but we had got there and we were like, some people like, no, I'm staying. They're gonna run me off, and then
they could run me, I'd be gone.
It was like a day, 2 days later. And next thing you know, everybody was just like, yo, we got to go. Like, we have to.
That's okay. Because I pack my dirty drawers. I can wash them out in the sink. Won't be on campus.
So I say that to say multiple historically black colleges and universities have had bomb threats. And
7 in
some have,
total.
yeah, 7 in total. Some have decided to do lockdowns and some have decided to evacuate. And in this time, to be in this era of 2022 and still having bomb threats as a lot of that had happened, during the civil rights movement where churches were bombed, community centers were bombed, so many other places were threatened. It's ridiculous that we still have this. And with the aid of technology to find people, pinpoint exact locations and things of that nature, I am just dumbfounded that this type of stuff is still allowed to go on and kind of be like, oh, who's the suspicious boogie person? Like, this needs to be taken up from the FBI, the CIA. The person needs to be prosecuted and brought to justice and exposed. So those of you who have, loved ones, nephews, nieces, daughters, sons, even yourselves, who are
just be aware.
These universities, be careful, be aware. There are a lot of people out here, right?
Just feed it out of there,
right?
Because they'll continue to play the game of calling in the false ones. It only takes that one time,
right? It only takes that exactly. That's what I was about to say.
And during these times, anyway, you just can't can't take anything for granted.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because how's they get? They's upset. Okay.
Please don't get me upset. We'll talk about the other thing later in the other part.
Good evening, everyone coming into the chat.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? Food, yes. It's not a news update, but definitely want you to be very much aware. Chicken off the shelves. There are no chicken on the shelves. Don't lose yourselves. It's a lot of things. We're headed back into true pandemic mode. So
that's okay. I got ramen noodles. I can hook it up. I'm good.
Right. Hey, Burns Closet, how are you? Hey, everybody coming back into the room. Welcome. Yeah, so please be mindful. There are a lot of things coming off the shelves, of course, as usual, and people get into a panic. A lot of people have decided to buy a lot of things and do the whole price gouging as they were doing once before. So be mindful and be careful of that. And that is illegal, okay, for those of you who try to do it or attempt to do it, know that it is illegal and they will find you, just like they found you with them PPP loans. Okay, so you better watch it.
Will there be knocks on the door?
Dragging you out, one or the other. Let's see what else. What I wanted to do real quick as far as the news.
Taco Bell has chicken wings now.
First of all, there's no chicken in Walmart, but Taco Bell's got chicken. Yep. Run for the hills.
It's only for a week. Yeah, I don't know where you get that chicken from.
Run for the hills. I was watching Melissa eat them chicken wings, and I was like, girl, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. But yeah, Taco Bell has chicken wings, but the supermarkets don't. There's a problem.
Muy Taco Bell.
There's a problem.
No.
What else would I say? Newborn babies born through the pandemic showing a slight developmental delay in development, of course. Something to definitely, for new parents, mothers and fathers, definitely something to really hone in on and pay attention to. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with the pandemic per se. It could have a lot.
I would believe it was the stress.
Right. That's
knowing the stress that's going on. Then too, whether or not there's proper food in the house.
Right.
That type of thing. You have a tendency to eat more junk when you're stressed. Believe me, I got the breasts to show it.
Oh, let's not go into whose breasts are bigger now. Come on.
No, but at least mine's a perky.
There's a lot of big men breasts out here.
Yeah, I seen some flappy. God dang.
Big old flat.
You ought to see a surgeon about that.
I don't understand it. But yeah, just to be mindful, there are a lot of children having issues with that.
The mothers, I don't see the mothers. I don't see
a lot of prenatal care and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but we used to mothers pretty much just fend for themselves now. They have the baby. Oh, you people come and see it. It's cute, and then they're, everybody's off, and they're pretty much by themselves too. That's how you get the baby blues, because you don't have that. Then a lot of them don't have that support system anyway.
Right. All right. So we ain't gonna talk about this too much because they don't like when you talk about this. But apparently, Omarion and the other one got together, and now
they hooked up.
They're like a Delta whatever thing.
They were slapping variants.
Listen, like with anything, if the virus is growing faster than the people who are trying to fight up against it, it will grow. It will combine. It will multiply. It will. Think of the movie on Netflix now, the Gremlins, is it? Yeah, with the little don't feed
them at the dark.
Don't feed them at the dark. Don't add no water. All that. It's like it. Do I think sometimes they go a little too far with the trying to scare you half to death? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I think it's important? Yes. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, we're the most affected. So I think we need to do our due diligence. And if you choose to do it or not to do it, that's entirely your choice, and it's supported 110%. But do your research and make sure that you're following the proper precautions that you need to follow to make sure that, you're doing what's best for your family. Mm-hmm. And that's the best thing I could say. I really am tired of hearing about this multiplying, that multiplying, like it's going to multiply if it's not.
Well, you have to remember too, since this was created, was man-made created, it could have been designed that way.
Right.
Because nothing jumps and changes that fast. Nature doesn't change and jump that fast.
Right. Just to take
it doesn't jump from human to animal. Right. Now, anytime they were inoculating the zoo animals, okay.
I mean, we still got some zoo animals running free. We still haven't talked about. We stopped talking about the Princeton. Sorry, not the Princeton. Excuse me, the Harvard chemist who was in charge of the science department, mm-hmm. who actually designed this with the Chinese government. We stopped talking about him a long time ago. Now we talk about is like this: where'd it come from? But
yeah, but did you hear also they were actually talking about the actual numbers of people who had passed from it, and they weren't separating the people that actually came into the hospital mm-hmm. for something else, didn't have it, contracted it there, but they died from other comorbidities.
Yeah.
They didn't make any differentiation. They just lumped all the numbers and said it was that.
Yeah, I mean they had said that at one point that that's what was going on.
Yeah, but it falls on deaf ear, and you never hear anything. Right. Never hear anything about it. So of course you're assuming that it's all of this is from that. And it's actually not. The numbers aren't.
Right.
And then they never said either that people that passed from it, had multiple other issues. They died from those issues. Yeah. The other one just didn't help.
Yeah. Well, because the first part of it, they didn't know how to combat it. They didn't know where it came from, and they didn't know what it was attacking. So a lot of time, I'm pretty sure a lot of people died from other things, and they just lumped them all up at first until they kind of got an idea of, okay, what is it?
Yes, but they weren't going to tell the public.
But they're not going to tell the public because, of course, the public would have went crazy and panicked far worse than it did.
They panicking now. They out there partying. That's why this shit's full blown.
Well, Dum Dum was giving them the okay that it was just, a virus and it was going to slide through and it's going to be over by summer. So, you can imagine.
Oh, him and his buddy down in Florida. That motherfucker was gasping for breath. Did you see that shit? Yes, and I loved it. I was like, breathe, bitch, breathe. Because I know he was turning blue, stand up there. Yeah. I feel lightheaded. No, motherfucker, you should have passed the fuck
He looked
out.
like he wanted to cry because he made
he wanted to cry, all right. Because first of all, Florida buried all those damn ventilators.
Right.
that they dumped.
The new ones, the brand new ones that they dumped.
Brand new ones, and they went into the dump. And then he allowed all those tests to expire.
Right. But then allowed the wealthy Floridians to jump in front of lines to get COVID tested and shots. So, I mean, make it make sense, people. Make it make sense. I don't know what's going on in Florida, but I pray for you guys.
Ms. T says the ventilator pressure was also killing people at first. Well, I guess, too, if they weren't used to working with them. I know when they received some from other countries, they were different specifications that they weren't familiar with. So they were, they were hesitant about using them.
Right. Definitely. Also, Black teachers are leaving the profession behind in huge numbers due to...
That's not a good thing.
Yeah. News reports that basically Black teachers are leaving by the droves due to not only just COVID and the effects that it has on the classroom.
It's just stressful being a teacher.
Yeah. It's racism is at an all-time high in the classroom. There's a lot of pressure on teachers not to teach anything dealing with history, Black history, or history that has to deal with the truth of a lot of it.
And also just not being able to teach because I know here where we are, they concentrate on the standard test and that's it.
Right.
That's what they're pretty much pushing the whole time.
Yeah, so a lot of people are pushing towards homeschooling, and it's a rise. Let's see. The report says that slightly higher percentage of non-white teachers, more than 45% versus the 42% that have said to be considered leaving their positions last year doing research at the University of Arkansas's College Education, Health, and Professions found. That's just really sad. I mean, I grew up, my elementary school was predominantly Black. I mean, we had a few white teachers, but it was a predominantly Black school. And it was cool to see Black teachers, especially Black male teachers. I had a few growing up. I applaud a lot of Black male teachers when I see them in the classroom and they do their little TikToks and things that are interactive with the students, because we don't see that a lot. And the fact that it has changed so much and it's pushing our teachers out of the school system is definitely a disservice, and it's definitely something that we definitely need to be aware of and really, focus in on. And if you have the ability to homeschool your kids, great. But if you don't, and
right now,
your children are thriving in a school where there may be a teacher that they really love and they really appreciate.
Just support the teacher, because remember, a lot of times those teachers reach into their pockets to pull out money for materials.
That was just what I was about to say. And a lot of times the materials that the teachers buy are coming from their own pockets. So if you can support your local teachers, reach out to them, ask them what they may need additionally in the classroom to help out. And if you can do so, do so. There was something else I wanted to talk about that, but I'll save my voice. What else we got here? Sorry. It won't close out. There we go. All right. In great history news, the great Dr. Maya Angelou will be the first Black woman to ever be on a U.S. piece of currency. She will be on the quarter. You know what?
You know why? I still want my tub, okay?
You still want your Harriet Tubman on the
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great, but I mean, okay. I mean, that's it's
and
a
it didn't
great.
even look like her.
No,
I didn't like the pose.
well,
I
I think
thought that
it's a younger during
it was
the.
so young it didn't even look like her. That's how young it was. It didn't even look like her.
It was more during the '60s with her and
When she was when she was a dancer. I mean, it still didn't look like her. I wanted a side profile of her that I can actually say that's my Angelou. But I am impressed in the fact that she only passed a couple years ago and they were able to do this, even
right.
though they should have flipped back on to the tub, okay, and worked on that.
Yeah, they should have. But
Now,
again,
who's this white man on the front? What was that, George Washington? I don't. Now that I got a problem with. That I got a problem with.
Now, or you've always had a problem with them?
Well, I'd always had a problem. I don't even use coins. What the hell is a coin? Sheesh.
Well,
If I don't look at my phone and pull out a card.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that part too, especially this day and age, like with all this corona, who really, handing cash and coins around
and all the rest of that.
I mean, it's nice for
dirty as money. As dirty as money is in the first place.
Right. It's nice for a collective, for a
who's been doing
collection,
lines
everybody who's collecting.
$1.
But after that, I just think, what's the point in that? Nobody's really utilizing that anymore.
You either don't have it or you don't carry it.
Right. So, on this whole journey of changing things around and exposing, there's been a new report by the Washington Post, surprise, surprise, that many Congress men and women throughout the ages owned slaves. Surprise, here, there, dum-dum. But they particularly talked about the first woman who served in Congress.
And she was, excuse the language, lady, she was a bitch.
Nah, she really was.
She was a real bitch.
She definitely,
and it was just written all in the wrinkles on her face.
Right, was definitely a promoter of slavery, promoter of lynching,
yes.
Right, promoter of lynchings, and she felt that if in fact, if it took to save white women from the ravaged arms of black men.
They weren't running into those arms they kept running into.
Saying that we were beasts and all these other things.
Oh yeah, we was beasts.
We should be lynched 1,000 a day if possible.
I don't know if I could do all that.
Right. Hey, Queen Diva, thank you so much for the super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just crazy. I can't with that. Hey, what's up, Absol? How you doing? I'm so nice. What's going on? Yeah, so I'm not surprised, but it's funny how when they're so surprised about their history, and then it's just like, oh, look what we discovered. But
now you understand why they don't want to, even though it is not being discussed in schools, critical race theory.
Right.
This is why they want to hide.
Right.
Just imagine all the stuff that's coming out now.
Yeah.
We didn't even know.
We didn't know. Right. Okay. Exactly. So, I mean, it just brings to light that this is the reason why pushing proper education, which is education of the true history, not just fabricated, not just making the shining four white fathers of this nation seem like these great, intelligent men who, thought of this whole concept of liberty and the pursuit of happiness on their own. No, they stole it from the French, and they also stole it from ideas from the Haitian people when they liberated, and all these other different places. So no, they did not, think of this whole idea of having this great nation by themselves, amongst themselves. No, they stole it, and like they steal everything else.
Yeah. You want to really catch an attitude? I'm in the middle of reading the 1619 Project.
Yeah, me too.
In the book form.
I'm auto booking it though, so I can't.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Hey, what's up, Rico? The brand.
Man, if I didn't feel like I did when I first watched Roots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. It's deep. Mm-hmm. Hey Rico, how you doing, man?
It is
long time no see.
It is very deep. I definitely implore you all to if you can. The 1619 Project, definitely a good read.
Yes.
If you can listen to it too. It's definitely great.
Yeah, I advise you to listen because you'll get pissed and you'll put it down and pick it up and put it down.
Yeah.
That's the 1619 in the book form.
Right. I'm listening to it, but yeah, there's definitely a book I am listening to currently.
And you can also find it at Z Library.
Yes.
Don't say I told you though, but you can for free.
For free, right? For free. Let's see what else. I think that's all we have on this side of the news. Let me see. Run through real quick. Whole Foods claims a constitutional right to disallow Black Lives Matter
masks.
Yeah, mask.
Their employees from wearing the masks.
Right. I mean, not to be in any type of way. I didn't know a lot of us worked in Whole Foods. The Whole Foods I went to, I've only seen a sprinkle of us in the Whole Foods. I mean, sprinkle, like 1, 2, here, there. I haven't seen a lot of us.
Well, I can't just run around the corner where I am down to Whole Foods. It's not on my list.
I mean, I'm just saying, I ain't never seen a lot of us in Whole Foods. So, I mean, unless the others are wearing them in support.
Yeah. You think they actually say something to them? Well, you know what? It's not. It's the employees.
Right, but this is what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know if they'll say anything to them. It's such a secretive club.
Yeah, but this is why I'm saying that this is why they may have put it out there that they didn't want any of the employees wearing them, so that way it wouldn't single out.
Well, yeah, you make it as a blank statement.
But my whole thing is the Whole Foods I've gone to, I really haven't seen too many of us working there. So if they are wearing them, it's not us wearing them. I know it could be a lot of younger kids, working
teens and things like that.
Yeah, in support of the movement wearing them. And instead of just saying, don't put that on, that's not your fight. You just say,
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. So definitely check that out.
Okay. The COVID home test reimbursement. Did you read that? I think that was the last.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read that. I think that was the one I did not read.
Okay. Starting January 15th, if you purchase the home test, keep your receipts.
I purchased 2.
Yeah, and I got 4, and when 2 of them came, I had to use it since it came to the damn door. But yeah, but it has to be, from what I'm reading so far, it has to be after the 15th. Your insurance company.
Oh, well, that's not good for me then.
Or if you purchase it and your insurance company charge you, you can be reimbursed.
Okay.
And they're supposed to have an allotment. Each household.
Yeah, but then again, that all depends on your governor and your state level, how they get them out.
Oh well, yeah. Don't hold your breath.
Please don't,
because you'll be coughing the whole time.
Right. You'll be waiting. Real quick, I did want to talk about this, which was not a surprise. Before we go into who said that, you said that, the YouTube segment. Hakeem Jeffries is talked about to be taking or eyeing Nancy Pelosi's seat when it is time for her reelection. That has been something that has been rumored a long time ago. Definitely when the elite of the Cortez and others came into Congress, they were definitely talking about changing it up and having a more of a Speaker of the House who was really forceful and not kind of had money to throw around and really wanted to do some change, instead of keeping things the same and kind of doing minor changes but not real change. So I think that'll be interesting.
And it will at least look like
they're doing something this term. But I mean, of course, they're going to do this now because it's midterms. Because this is midterms. You know, this is it. This is the run for the races.
Not the way they're acting, though.
Well, it's always like this in the beginning. It's always like this in the beginning. In the beginning, it's always like, oh, we got this. And then as the polls really start to come in and you really start to see the true numbers of what it really may look like, then you'll start seeing people scram. You'll start seeing things get passed. You'll start seeing, especially the Republicans, you thought they were clenching their butts now about legislation. Just wait. Just wait. They're not going to budge on anything, and they're going to make it so the Republicans look like, the Democrats look like they haven't done anything, which, I mean, truth be told, they really haven't.
They really haven't.
To make nice. And if they still are in the minority, Joe Manchin, of course, is going to flip and give them the majority. So either way.
I'd like to flip his ass, all right.
Either way, I just think it's a whole mess about to happen. There's rumors that a lot of conservatives are not even feeling Joe Manchin just for how he flip-flops. But I think that's just really BS. Just talk for, people on the red side who are like, he's still a Republican, da-da-da-da-da. I just don't, Jamie Raskin, maybe as speaker. That's interesting. Raskin as speaker. That's interesting. I mean, I could see it. But I don't know. I just see Jeffries a little different. Not that he would be the first black speaker of the House, because he wouldn't. But I just see it going a different way just to make it look like this whole historic thing that they're trying to do. How they always try to push that they're so, we're so progressive. Like, so we'll see how that goes. But now that we're done with that, let's get into it. The segment you've all come to love.
Hey, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who am I saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
All right. So, where do I begin? I'll start with this. Check out Dee Love's last post in regards to the whole situation with Rico and the cat situation. I thought that was a word that that was needed. And I mean, not just for his situation, but just in general. Like, if you really, she really threw out some nuggets there that I thought were
she's hilarious.
Very insightful, but she is very funny. She is hilarious. And I love her for it. And I ain't gonna talk about it but this one time, and I'm not gonna even talk about it anymore. As far as the cat situation, do I think it was a reflex? Yes. Do I think he should have punched the cat? No. But was it a reflex watching it in real time? Yes, it was a reflex. Now, on the other end of that, I think you give too much. Really, Rico, I think you give too much. And then when you get met with it, or when it's taken to the next level, you are in your feelings and you feel some type of way. Stop giving these people ammo to use against you. If you need to take a break, take a break. If you need to pre-record all of your videos until you can get yourself to where you're comfortable, then that's what you need to do. So you can edit out anything that needs to be edited and go about your business. I know that you want to have this kind of real and authentic thing about yourself, which is perfectly fine. And you can do that just like old YouTubers used to do it with pre-recorded videos. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think you give too much and people use it. And
it's definitely against you.
Where we're at, I just don't think it's a good look right now. I'm happy that you gave the cat up. Just for the simple fact that you need to focus on you right now. I understand that, you were trying to do a great thing, and that's applauded. But at the same time, sometimes you have to take a step back and realize this is not, you know, I got to focus on getting me together first. I'm no good if I'm no good to myself or together, I'm no good to nobody else. No pet, no person, no relationship, no nothing. So you have to make sure that you're whole first. So my suggestion is just focus on you. Focus on you and what you're trying to do and what you went there to accomplish, the goal that you went there for, not just for, the benefits or whatever it was that was a benefit to you going, but the real reason why you went. Was it to get into music or to get into the industry of radio or whatever that passion was? Focus on that. Let that be your driving force. And then once you get to a place where you're cool, calm, and collected, then you can introduce all those other elements back into yourself. But for right now, just lay off on that. Yeah, I mean that's all I got to say about that. I do, of course, always wish you all the best. Very supportive, but at the same time, you can't you give too much, and when you give too much, people will utilize it against you. And then I heard you put your address on the thing. Is just like, come on, don't do that. There's smarter ways and better ways to do things than to do that. But like I said, I support you nonetheless. But I just think that you need to move differently for the time being. And then when you get into a space that you're comfortable, you've kind of got your feet on the ground, and you're stable enough to handle, you can do whatever you choose. But for right now, just take a step back and be yourself in a different way. I think that's the best way I could say that. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Next.
All right. So, other than that, I don't know. There's just been little things here and there. I've been popping into people's stuff. Nothing too crazy, just kind of the same old antics for this new year, which is kind of like, okay, come on, guys. Let's kind of elevate ourselves. It's a new year, try to be a different you. I know you can't teach some zoo animals new tricks, but some zoo animals need to, learn some new tricks. I think it's important. But, hey, it is what it is. But that's about it. That's it. I mean, I don't think anything else was like.
I would like to congratulate the green sector, the birth of the green sector.
Oh yeah,
they're working on.
I did hear that that there is this green sector being worked on with S. Hutchinson and others to be a more of a positive light in the muck of.
We're all for that shit. I'll tell you that much.
in the muck of the beef sector to kind of have a balance, which I definitely think is definitely something that should be applauded, because we should have a balance.
You should have a balance.
People shouldn't just say, well, this is the beef sector. You should just beef and be nasty and say the most deplorable things about people, because it's one thing to quote unquote roast and gag and joke about somebody, but it's a whole nother thing to where if somebody's not talking about you in that way, not coming at you in that way.
Yeah, but 24/7, 365 days a year.
You have situations going on with you that nobody's addressed, then you shouldn't do that. And the fact that you do that shows that you have less ability to really do what you claim that you do so well. So, we need to have a balance. Everything has a balance. Night and day is a balance. Good and evil is a balance. So like everything else, this should be balanced as well. So I applaud them. I wish it all the best.
You definitely have a supporter here. And there are a lot of new content creators. That was what we were talking about the latter part of last year, that now it's a time for some new blood to come through here, and they want to, because everybody's getting kind of sick of it, just to change it up a bit. Yeah. So they definitely have my support.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
sick of you motherfuckers. Let me tell you. 4 weeks. I was so fucking burned out. I was so glad we took a week. I was like,
no, I mean, I don't let it, honestly, truthfully, I don't let it get to me. I say what I have to say and I'm done with it.
Well, I told you, I'm an introvert, man. All this, even when I like I said, I usually shut this shit off, and that's pretty much it. There are a couple people that pop on. I will turn it on and then I'll turn that shit right back off. Yeah. But to see the foolishness.
Yeah. No, see, and that's the thing. Like when you, like out of sight, out of mind for me. So if I don't watch, I don't know. And the only time I know is if someone actually tells me, because I don't really go to watch because.
Oh, only if it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I have no.
You notice how karma works? Yeah. When you're not looking for shit, the shit find you. You only have to hit the damn computer or your telephone on.
I mean, no, and that's true, and that's true. It does. But at the same time, it's all about what you intake. You know what I'm saying? And we have to learn how to take some of it in and release some of it out. And, do what you need to do. Do your spiritual work. If that's light a sage, read your word or whatever it is that you need to do to kind of cleanse yourself. Because it's okay. I mean, it's like, to me, I think of it as like watching reality TV.
Oh, it's real.
That kind of Housewives or all that kind of stuff. It's kind of the same thing. You indulge in it because you're kind of like, oh, that's kind of messy. And then, you cut it off. And I think a lot of people don't have that cut off button because they're so used to the praise and the accolations that they get. Because, of course, as I've said many times before, this is all they have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a lot of loneliness on here.
All this activity, praise, and concern about what they're doing, who they're going after, what they said. They don't get this in real life. This is the most they get. And you can tell because every time somebody says something, it's click on. I got to respond. I got to respond. Everything does not call for your response. The fact that you're responding shows that you're thirsty. It is what it is. But I wish everybody get some water this year and stop being so thirsty. Stop responding to everything. Everything ain't worth a response.
Save your energy for the real good stuff.
Everything ain't worth a response because the truth of the matter is, as we've seen in a few other people and a few other content creators, that some of these people ain't about that life. Okay, because when real people say, oh, so-and-so, I think so-and-so's in the room, people run out of locations. They haul ass. So it's just funny, like you can't, you can dish it, but you can't really take it if it was knocking at your door. And some people are like that. You have to realize that some people are like that. I have family members that don't care, that wouldn't mind. So just be mindful when you go too far. Trust me, other people are watching. Other people are asking. If you get a hold of that address, let me know. If you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And so you be mindful that I don't have to know when and what they're doing or when they come and visit or whatever may happen. But trust and believe, other people are watching. So be careful of what you think you're saying and think you're doing. So that's all I'm saying. Keep your thirst to a minimum. All right.
And if nothing else, keep your identity, your address, your phone number, your personal information.
Yeah, but yourself. And then too, well, you can't really fault that because you got content creators who, at one point, some people trusted that have been leaking out information of other people.
But if you haven't, don't. Not a good idea.
We're not talking about people who, who have morals, who have a moral compass, who feel that, that's a bridge too far. We have people who are sitting here sharing stuff that, you didn't send to this person or that person. So how did they get it? Mm-hmm. So, it's a bit much.
You know where it came from.
Right.
Unless you're just one that just tell everybody everything.
Right.
And you can't track it down. But if you have a general idea, where
right.
the leak is coming
exactly. From. But that's why you need to keep your circle, you keep your circle really small. And you know who you sent what to. Mm-hmm. So when it does come out, you know who did it. You know what I'm saying? And again, you can't fault people for being malicious, vindictive, evil. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on you. That's all the stuff you got to answer to. Sometimes you just gotta, hear it and let it go. Respond if you choose to respond, which I do. And a lot of my friends be like, "Oh, you shouldn't respond." But knowing you, I know you would respond. Yeah, but I'm not gonna keep responding because that's when I start to lose myself. And I don't. Now, occasionally you may get a little something because I still got plenty in the back burner. Child, I still got it. So don't be surprised if it still come up because that's the cancer in me to be like, bitch, you thought don't sleep. But at the same time, you're not worth it. And there's no other way for me to express that to you or to anybody else that you're really not worth it. It's sad and unfortunate that you even had the life you live. And yeah, it's just feel sorry for folks, man. It's really sad. Like there are really some sad folks out there. Yeah. That I can't even waste the prey on you. And I know that sounds horrible, but I'm just saying I'm a different guy. God is still working on me. There's a lot of construction going on, and I don't waste my. I don't
tell you something. He's never finished with you.
Yeah, I don't waste.
He ain't never finished with
prayers on garbage. Okay, I don't waste.
I should know. I fuck up royally sometimes. I know he ain't.
I don't waste prayers on garbage. So trust and believe. We had that relationship. He understands me, and we understand each other. So you like it when I lose myself? No, but I never do though. I mean, I may address it because I feel like one. I need you to know I'm not that one. You know what I'm saying? And then that's it. That's as far as I go. And I get it. It's entertaining for some because they don't see me do that all the time. And that's fine. But again, even to myself, there is a balance. I'm not going to be like blah, 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 blah all the time because you're not worth it. But if I do feel like I need to address you, I will address you. And that's just it.
Yes. No, see, I'm very selective. I don't have a lot of energy to waste. But I will get right straight to the point.
Yeah.
And I don't play no because I'll give zero fucks. Okay.
Right. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Sharing private shit is whack as fuck. It shows a lot of distrust. Yeah, it does. But then I would like the people who still hang around those circles to realize that, hey, you sitting around kikiing and kai-kaiing with these folks that you could be next, right? Mm-hmm. So be mindful. You know what I'm saying? So it don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on. Hey, Virginia Redbone.
Hey, Virginia Redbone. Yeah, energy vampires. They do.
Right. Well, I mean, they try to be. They try to be. What else was there?
They're just full of shit.
Yeah, I mean that too. And mainly that's what it is. It's just purely just full of shit. Like full of shit. Big babies, big children. I don't even want to say bullies because even that's giving power. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you dish it, but you can't take it. You know what I'm saying? You sit up in places that people are, you have no fans there, but you listening to see what somebody is saying about you or what they may whisper about you. Come on, like that. If that ain't the most childish shit in the world, like grow the fuck up. So, it's just really crazy. But, everybody's got their own work in progress. I just feel like some people are a little too old and they need to start doing the work for real before their time is up because you've already
don't wait that last 6 months.
You've already wasted a lot of time, so you don't want to waste no more. Let's see what else. I think that was it on that. Unless anybody else has any thoughts on that. I did see the one picture of the one who shall remain nameless with black fingernails. I was like, okay, it fits the character. But whatever. What else? I think that was it. The one thing that I did wanted to touch on was, of course, as we do every episode, we talk about movies or shows that we're watching. There is a show that I did watch the first episode earlier today. Women of the Movement which I think it's supposed to be a series. It's executive produced by Will Smith and Jay-Z. The story is
You're gonna say
about
Jada. I said, oh, they still together? No, let me stop.
no Jay-Z. They talk about the life and death of Emmett Till and the mother of Emmett Till, Mamie Till. They go into her story. The first episode has already aired. I believe it aired on the 6th of January. Don't quote me, but definitely something you should definitely very much check out. Definitely a very good show, even from the first episode. I have been watching a lot of clips on YouTube about that story. For some reason, it just hit me, and I guess maybe after the sentencing of the 3 knuckleheads who murdered Ahmaud Arbery.
Yes, it's just a modern day version,
Right, while he was in their neighborhood, and they just really felt that he shouldn't be there. Just brought all that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was saying now. Remember the woman that accused Emmett Till is still alive.
Right, still alive and kicking, and they will not prosecute her at all. And that's the part that, and there's a part in the and I won't give too much away, but there's a part in the series where the lawyer asked her to tell her side of the story, because there was a whole bunch of rumors going around, and the husband, of course, and she basically said she didn't want to tell him, which she didn't tell him. He found out because of the rumors that were going around, and that she didn't know that he picked up the boy, and that when she was shown Emmett Till, she told him, her husband, that it wasn't him. But the series does show a female was in the car or in the pickup truck when they went to go grab Emmett Till in the middle of the night. That confirmed that it was Emmett Till who whistled to the woman. So, and I think at this point, for her, just come out and you've lived your whole life in seclusion, hiding away. At this point, just tell the truth. As Information Man would say, tell the truth. Just tell the truth and say your part so you can go in peace. Because the only reason why you're here really is because you have not told the story. You have not told the truth of whether or not you didn't tell your husband. And then when your husband found out, what did you know? Now, I did watch this. I think he's called the G-Man. He's a reporter. He does a lot of research. He did some research on the woman's name is escaping me, but the woman who accused Emmett Till of not only whistling at her, but touching her as he was handing her the change, and a person who was very close to the family. That the word on the street was during that time that, of course, they had a general store that a lot of the Black patrons went to, that she would always flirt with a lot of the men, or wear like short shorts and things of that nature in the store. Now, mind you, she was a young woman then. So, and from what they say during that time and in that area, she was pretty attractive. She did like modeling or pageant queen or some bullcrap. But so she would flirt a lot. And they even mentioned that in the story, the husband was like, what were you doing? Were you doing what you normally do? So there was this
she was rumor
of her kind of being overly flirtatious with the men. So again, I'm not, I think it's definitely a show to watch. And definitely something that we need to really pay attention to, that even in 2020, it's still going on. We're not safe. We're not comfortable. This is not a moment where we can kick up and go, oh, we made it. Just because we see things in our political climate changing just a bit by, throwing us a first black something here and there, or the second black something here and there. We haven't made it. You know what I'm saying? And the more we try to push back on the fact of not being represented in many of these spaces, we're losing political power at the same time. So, we got to kind of push to make our voices be heard and show that, hey, you need our voice. Because if we don't do it, you don't win. You don't get in power. This is what happens. So if we don't get what we rightfully deserve, like anybody else, there's going to be a problem. Like the Civil Rights Bill, not Civil Rights Bill, but the John Lewis Bill.
Mm-hmm.
John Lewis Bill not being passed as of yet. You want to get through 2020, 2022. You want to make sure midterms go well. You better pass it. You better find a way to pass it. You better filibuster it. You better do whatever you need to do to make sure it passes. Because if it don't pass and you don't put it towards the floor, you could forget about having majority.
Look, and time is of the urgent. Okay, right. It's just plain and simple. They're fucking around. They don't have a lot of time.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. First of all, primaries will be here in a minute. Okay. And then the general election will be here. They don't have that many seats to begin with to hold power in either chamber.
That's right.
Either chamber. You got old Russell Butt over there in West Virginia waiting to see what the turnout might be to if he flip and give Republicans power, or even if he stays on if the Democrats hold and gain some seats. He's playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing the game. And what they need to do is either they need to get on the ground running and really attack this situation and make sure that whatever he decides, that he has no power. Because I'm tired of him, Kristen Sinema. They were placed for a reason. And they're doing exactly.
I don't think that there are not others in there also.
Right. They're doing exactly what their job was to do, to play on that side. And if they ever gain power, they would have throw, everything but the kitchen sink at every kind of legislation they had going. So, hey, this beach, what's going on, love? How are you? Nice to see you. Hey, Miss Star, what's going on? And thank you guys for coming in. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the way in or out. And thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I just think it's really a time for us to focus and get into gear. Yes, we can negotiate our vote. Yes, we can hold back our vote if you feel that, your voice is not being heard. But know that the other groups are mobilizing while we sitting around complaining about what we're not getting. They're mobilizing and making sure they get shit done, excuse me, but they are. So, we need to really start really mobilizing, stop pointing the finger, really come together, stop trying to put this group against that group. Because we have all these infights amongst ourselves. It's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Because remember, they have some of the others that are now being included into their group. Like the light-skinned Hispanics that think they're white.
Right. And this is what I'm saying.
They're wooing
they're
these
making
people.
Sure that they do this. You know what I'm saying? They're including the Asians in their group. They're making sure that they include people in their group so they feel like, okay, it's all of us against them. Now
remember, back in the day, Irish used to be niggas too.
Right.
Okay.
Right. They all used to be Italians, all of them. So, we get to this point where
they absorb these groups and they get the numbers.
Right.
Oh, wow. How did we miss this one?
Which one?
New York City. they're giving them the right to vote, even if they're not citizens, in the local elections.
I think we talked about
Did we?
that like 2 weeks ago.
Did we?
Yeah. hmm But yeah, good to tell again.
Yeah. Anybody who lives up in New York, how do you feel about that? Having immigrants, United States citizens,
Vote.
being able to choose your local officials.
I think that'll be interesting.
Because
a lot of
I have a problem
well,
with that.
you know what I think it's going to be problematic too, because a lot of immigrants, surprisingly enough, vote towards the Republican ticket, and they know that.
Mm-hmm.
They know that. That's why they're okay with allowing it. Because you do know the legislation in New York, not New York City, but the upstate, Albany, there are a lot of Republicans up there.
And they're kind of waspy.
Yeah, they're kind of split as in power is concerned. So trust and believe, they're for it. Sorry about they're not for it. Yeah, no. I mean, a lot of people aren't, but
yeah, that's problematic.
They know their power in the situation.
But think about the other immigrants that are going through the naturalization process. How do you think that makes them feel? Here, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing,
right?
Because this is one of the goals that I'm going towards,
right?
And here you have people just walking off the street.
Yeah. But it's again to create that divide. You know what I'm saying? So when they're pushing for immigration legislation to build, walls and fences and regulate immigration, this is how they do it. You know what I'm saying? You'll sit there and get the immigrants who've gone through the process, and then you'll have the immigrants who haven't gone through the process just come here and be like, hey, okay, great, bam.
Yeah.
And you get everything. And had them feel some type of way,
especially if they push a candidate that you're not interested in.
Right.
Yeah. So, give me 5 minutes.
Sure, you're fine.
Okay.
All right. So any of you have any questions, comments, or concerns? I can leave the floor open to you guys. Anything you've been watching and or concerned about, and trust and believe, if I have gotten to your emails, I've just been swamped, and so I will get to responding to your questions, comments, or concerns. But definitely need to read or listen to the 1619 project. That basically talks about the first slaves arriving to the country, and from the 13th Amendment on the Civil War, after the Civil War, Reconstruction, all those things that were created to keep Black people suppressed throughout history. And all of the little cover-ups, of course, the Tulsa bombing, the Florida, Redwood, and other places, about 28 other places that were bombed or burned to the ground, that were affluent Black communities. So it's a lot. And it's definitely a lot more that I've learned and am still learning. And, we never stop learning. So I definitely want to keep that with us all, that, we never stop learning. Although people, you may think it's boring, you may think, it's not interesting, but these things are happening to us and to our children or to our relatives now in this modern day and age. And we need to make sure that we are mindful and stay focused, that that eye on the prize. We're still there. We have not we haven't made it. You know what I'm saying? We haven't made it. As much as they try to make you think that you've made it and you can relax and kick your feet up, you cannot. So stay focused. Yes, sir.
All right, I'm focused.
Not that you had something you wanted to add,
Oh,
but no, I think that was it. Wheel of Time. Now to something a little more entertaining. Wheel of Time. Oh my gosh! Please check that out. That is such a good movie. I mean, if
it's
you
worth
like,
watching.
if
It's
you
worth
like
watching.
Lord of the Rings and all that kind
like
of
witchcraft
stuff,
and all
witchcraft
that
kind of
stuff.
mystical stuff, it's definitely a cool show. It's definitely very empowering for women. I think women and women of color, and I say color of different ethnicities of color. When I say black women, I just mean black women. When I say women of color, I mean the others. And no disrespect to any of you that may be in the chat. That's just how I do. I think
women's, they got whole lots of
the
women's
women
is running that shit.
Right, it's a lot of women's, and it just shows the women empowerment. It shows men and their destructive nature when they do have power, and women with a more different approach to power. If I was just to give a quick analysis of it, that's basically what it shows. And you can look at it in the real world, how even when we're voting for elected officials at the top ticket, we're looking for men to be the head of the party or the head of the ticket, when you don't give women an opportunity because you feel like they're not level-headed, if they won't attack a situation the way a man would. But clearly, if men have had the reins for so long and have somewhat failed at kind of being at the head of the ship, maybe it's time to change that trajectory and let a woman lead and see where that actually goes.
Of course, the approach is different.
Yeah, and their approach is different. Women's approach to situations are different than men, and I mean that's just given. That's just given. So I think it's time, and I think it's a great show that shows the dynamic in that, and how we as a society view women and their powers. So it's definitely very interesting. Definitely something to watch. Yeah, it was an awesome show, Connie. You're definitely right. I haven't read the book, but it makes me want to read the book now. It makes me want to read the series of books to kind of follow along and be like, that wasn't in there, but yeah, I think it's dope.
You know where you can get them from.
Right. The libraries. I mean, religion plays a part in it too.
Yeah.
They talk about religion in it too. As it being the light. And they killing folks too in the name of religion and the light, burning witches and doing all types of stuff. Yeah. So
if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you'll definitely enjoy it.
If you're a Game of Thrones fan, if you are a Lord of the Rings, if you are kind of a Harry Potter-ish mystical thing, you'll like it. A Wheel of Time. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. For those of you who have Amazon Prime, it's on Amazon Prime. For those of you who do not, if you have a Fire Stick that's broken, you can use it there. I'm just saying.
Or just borrow that password.
Right.
That's all. Just borrow that password.
Just borrow that password. Yeah, it's a good watch. It's not that many episodes either. I think it's like 8.
8. Mm-hmm.
So it's a good watch for 8 episodes. You can binge watch it on a weekend and be done with it. But it's good. I'm waiting for season 2 already with bated breath. Definitely.
Yeah, I watched. Oh God, what is that? American Horror Story season 10. I finally settled down to watch that.
Is that the one with the aliens?
The alien, the people that were up in the New England town that was drinking blood.
Yeah.
Everybody always remembers the alien part at the very end. They never say the very first part about the about the
blood sucking vampires.
Yeah.
Whenever I say aliens, I always think of Coming to America. When he was like, she was like, what's your name? She said, Alien. She said, Alien. Alien. That's a nice name. Yeah. The alien part kind of.
Well, that was a totally separate little campy
thing. It was, but even still, it was like.
Well, no, I like the first part.
Okay. Yeah, the first part was good. Second part kind of lost me a little bit in the weeds. But it was still good.
But it's entertainment.
Yeah, but sometimes entertainment is life and art in a different way. And it's all on how you dissect it. Um, and so a lot of times, even when people say YouTube, like this is entertainment, yeah, it's entertainment to a fault, to a degree. Because then there are certain parts that other people don't find entertaining. Like you say, it's entertaining until your parents are called, and then it's not entertaining anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's gotta have a different kind of Again, here we go with balance. One thing I will say, of course, touching on the YouTube thing because this just popped in my head. This whole there's a particular YouTuber who uses the N word, who is not of the right hue to say the N word.
They do?
Huh?
They do?
Yes, but they do. Yeah, on YouTube. And he was coming after another content creator.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me put my other butt in. Okay, wait a minute.
And kept calling him the N word. And
get the hell out of here.
Yeah. And all this and all that. And
now how come they didn't use their powers of doxing?
Right. Right. And I haven't watched it because I don't believe in watching stuff like that. I don't think it's I just don't think it's right. Like I don't even want to see it, let alone hear it. But again, in that space where people say, well, if we can use it and say it to ourselves, why can't they say it? Or why can't they? And I'm so tired of hearing that argument. But as long as we still have struggle with that amongst ourselves, they will always have that argument.
Yeah, but two, that was not the first time he used it and used it on this platform.
No, not at all.
How come the people in his chat?
Right, but this is what I'm
didn't
saying.
Check him.
Right,
they should have
This
checked him.
is what I'm saying. There's a lot of unchecked situations that go on, and no one checks the person. Like, you don't want to be the person singled out. You don't want to be the person doxxed or whatever the case may be. If you kind of check someone on something that's inappropriate, I think there are. For me personally, when people use that term, whatever it is, whatever race you may be, especially when you happen to be the other race, I just feel like your vocabulary is quite limited because there's far many other expletives you could have used to describe anything regarding that person than using that. When knowing that that has been used historically to demean and undermine. And the thrill and the enthusiasm that you have when you say it lets you know that you love doing it. And people could say, oh, he's just doing it to be a shock jock or whatever, but even shock jocks like Howard Stern went too far and got handled and got shut down or stopped. So I think if you support the person, again, that's your business. But I do have a problem if you do not address that person when those things are said. Because it's all cool to be in the chat, amening if they're going against somebody you necessarily don't like. But if certain words are being thrown out or certain things are being said, I think there should be some, okay, well, you're going too far. You don't need to use that. As a matter of fact, you can't use that. You could use other words because he could have used a whole bunch of other words, called them trash or whatever else. But the fact that that was your go-to was a bit ridiculous. Now, on our end, yes, do a lot of content creators here use that word? Yes.
They use a lot of things.
Right.
A whole lot of things.
Necessarily should be used? Yeah. I mean, I mostly no on that, but again, it's your business. If you choose to use it,
but you know the first thing they'll say is, "But this is the beefing sector."
Right. But again, you can, when you're limited to only beefing a certain way, then you're not beefing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not truly beefing. Beefing is when you could really, and it's not even beefing really, because beef for real, when I grew up, was really fighting someone. Like, if you were beefing with someone, you were like fighting. Like, you were not going back and forth with words or your mama this, your mama that. You weren't doing all that. That wasn't beefing. That was like, beefing was fights on site. I'm knocking your head off on site. Yeah. That was beefing. This stuff, this is the beefing sector. This is not the beefing sector. What this should be, it's clearly not, because people don't know how to do it. They feel like, oh, well, if you come for me, I'm a go for the gusto for you until you stop coming for me. And it's just like, first of all, how do you know that you really move someone to stop talking about you? Maybe they're just used to. And maybe the next time that they feel like addressing you, they will address you at any moment. So have you really stopped them? No. They just choose not to keep going back and forth with you because you're irrelevant to them in their situation. Okay, cool. But I feel like when people go like, total, and you can't tell a person how to come at you if you come at them. You can't, but you can also see the difference though. Somebody comes at you a certain way and you come at them with total like raw. You start to ask that question like y'all was asking. It seemed very, very like built up. Like, this seems like something real deep. You know what I'm saying? And then you start to look at the person like, what the fuck is really wrong with you? Like, what is really, like, it's something, you're touched. Like, something's really wrong with you.
Oh, that's a lot of that over here.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? But then the person you get to see the real essence of the person, the part that they try to cover up about themselves, that nasty, disgusting, animalistic zoo animal about themselves. You see it. Yeah. It comes out, Mighty Joe Young. You see it in full, King Kong. You see all that in full view. And you're like, okay, I get it. So, I think that, I don't know. I just think it's different. Like, I think you should be okay with checking the person that and I don't want to say checking because maybe that may be a little harsh for some people who like content creators and feel like they don't want to disrespect them. But just, it's okay to be like, hey, I didn't agree with that. I felt like you went too far, in a respectful way. And if they take it and think you being disrespectful, be a man and a woman adult enough to know, okay, we can agree to disagree and be about your business. All this kind of, I don't want to upset the content creator, so I'm going to let them just be and keep my mouth closed. Then you're being complicit in the bullshit.
Yeah. No. That needs to be checked.
Yeah, then you're being complicit in the bullshit. Because if you're going to really sit here and allow that person to sit here and call a black person an N-word, but then be so upset when we sit up here looking at racial injustice and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor's, but not say anything when it's a content creator on fucking YouTube. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I'm not saying, because I don't give people power like that. I think that's pointless. Saying people's name, that's like calling on that thing they call the devil. Like, I don't do that. But I just think, the click and the view is, it is for what it is, I guess, for the moment. You know what I'm saying? When you trying to get your numbers up so you can make that check look good so you can pay your rent or pay your bills. But
now, was this the first time that person has done that?
To my knowledge, no. But like a lot of other content creators, like I said before, they've sat in the chat and went along to get along until it was them that it was said about, or until, the person or people got fed up and was like, okay, that's enough. And they just stopped participating, but it's still allowed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still allowed. So I think, at times where you would come together and rally against one person because of this situation, like how people rally to talk about Rico and the damn cat, why can't you rally about that too in the same breath? Have the same vigor
because their priorities are fucked up.
Right, but have the same vigor that you have towards him and a fucking cat. That's his business. You know what I'm saying? And whether he gets put out of whatever situation because of the cat, that is his business. But we can sit here and be in a place where it's majority, hear me?
Yeah.
It's
what you drinking? That ain't water.
It's you know, a large majority of black women, right? Gay men, some straight men, but it's a lot of us over here. So to allow that, it's like, what are we saying? Again, we can't be be mad about injustice or talk about Black Lives Matter, but something like this, we say, oh, well, that's just entertainment. No, it's not.
Yeah, just let that slide.
It's not entertainment. It's not entertainment. It's really not.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying, you know, do all to get all to do that. No, but I'm just saying you have the power to not pay attention. Trust and believe. If you stop paying attention to those things, they go away because they don't have nobody to watch them, to look at them, to view them, any of that.
Yeah.
Disassociate yourself. That's the best weapon that you can do to that. Because going back and forth with that, you feeding that. Mentioning that person in your when you do your little things and you mention the person's name, so you grab their attention, so they come over to you or their followers come over to you and watch you. You're giving that energy.
Yeah, but you have to check it the first time.
Yeah, you do, and that's the problem. It was never checked because it was somebody that person did not like. You know what I'm saying? So it was never checked on that level when it should have been checked. I don't care that you don't like him or her. That's not my problem. But what you won't do is say that.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it.
I mean, because that content creator knows what where they are. They know where they are, and of course he was probably tiptoeing around. The first time he said it, he just tiptoed around it and he got away with it.
Well, he just wanted to see what the reaction was going to be. And when the reaction
that's like if I came in here and I got to arguing with one of the males over here and I call him the F word. You know, it's the same exact thing.
Right. And I mean, I don't agree necessarily with people when they go, oh, well, people in the community use it, and that's their right to use it. But is it? If you know it's a derogatory term, is it your right necessarily to use it?
Yeah, but you should at least stop and pause and think about it.
Right.
You know, it should make, because even when I use the N-word, sometimes I'm trying to be funny.
Right.
And I have to stutter a bit,
right.
And I'm like, I usually don't say this, but
right.
That type of thing. And I'll stutter. But just to get out of the habit, just stop doing it. So,
let me see.
Be stuck now. Yeah.
Right, but that's what it is. A lot of people are scared, and that's what I mean by the get along, the do along, the get along. It's like,
but what are they going to do to you?
They're going to dox you. They're going to talk about you in their cleanups. They're going to do all these things. They're just like, really? Are you really that concerned? Are you really that concerned about being talked about?
And you do have a button that you could just go someplace.
Yeah,
else.
like you don't even right. Like you don't even have to watch it. You don't even have to know. And I get it. But a lot of people, and again, this goes into that whole feeding the beast. When you're feeding the beast gets hungry, and the beast will do things when it's hungry for that attention. The best way to do it is to starve it.
Yeah.
Starve it. We're not paying it any attention.
Now remember, this is a new year.
Yeah.
So we need to learn definitely need to learn some new habits.
That's it. That's it. It's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with, roasting and gagging or whatever you want to call it. Jonesing on one another occasionally. But there is a limit. You know what I'm saying? And as adults, you should have a preface. You should have a point where you say, you know what? All right. I've said what I've said. I'm done when I'm done. And don't press me, because if you keep pushing me, I will press that button to let you know, bitch, I'm not the one. But I know how to get my finger off the button too and go back to business as usual. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm nobody's pushover, because I'm not. But what I am saying is I know how to press that button and let that button go. Because you're not that important. What you say and what you do don't make me shit. So it don't move me. Not when their lives, because the truth be told, if you really showed, if a lot of these people did a Rico and showed their real lives and what they do, you'd really be like, really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
There's
a whole lot of that.
You promote this boastio grandiose life, but your reality is your life is really not that great.
Yes, people are normal.
Right.
Normal
as hell. Like bland normal.
Yeah, your baby just ate a French fry off the floor.
Right.
It's normal, okay?
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say with that floor. I
don't know about that. Especially the way some of these places be looking. You better not eat no French fry off the floor.
Oh no.
You be dead.
Oh, you be real dead.
You be boop dead. Don't even worry about it. Nope, I wouldn't dare. Nope. So yeah.
Say it's about the money. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The reality is you don't really get paid that much. Unless you are really, going at it or doing whatever. But other than that, you don't really get paid that much. So that just lets you know right then off the bat that a lot of these people need the money.
Oh, you can tell.
They need it.
My page is down. Send me some super chats.
Right. Point blank period. My page is down. Send your super chats. I need super chats, or send your cash.
What is that? What is that other Bigo?
Bingo, yeah.
Yeah, something. And all I hear him talking about drops of quarters, drops. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you know it. You know it. Whenever and I say it all the time, whenever it's check time comes or renewal check time comes, you'll see those beefs and things start popping up. People start going after this one, going after that one, and you're like, where is this coming from? Oh, check day is renewing again. You know what I'm saying? So because if you didn't need it, you wouldn't have to. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. If you did not need it, you wouldn't have to. You would come on here leisurely, say what you need to say. Even if you did need to come after somebody because they came after you, you would address it and keep it moving. The fact that you need to keep going, you need to keep doing, you need to keep stirring it up, you need to keep adding fuel to the fire, throwing stuff in there, having your little minions come over to comment sections and say other stuff. Come on, like, what the fuck are we doing? When reality is the same folks that subscribe and that's modding, they're just changing their shit and coming over to you saying some shit, and you're just like, come on, really?
Troll accounts.
You can I can read what you're saying and hear your voice, dumb. You know what I'm saying? You can, from how someone speaks, because you watched them for so long, you can read it and go,
know who it is.
I know who this is right here. Thank you. So, a lot of times you think you covering it up by using your troll page. Honey, no, you would have to change it up by using a whole different type of verbiage, because the verbiage you use is just the one you speak with. So trust and believe, you tell on yourself.
What is this I hear about? They're taxing super chats or something. I've been hearing a couple of content creators.
Well, Google was already taking 30% from that.
Right, use PayPal or Cash App.
Right, or Cash App. That's what I would say too. Right. I mean, I did it at first, but then after a while, I was like, it really makes no sense.
Yeah, because when I found they were snatching up 30%. I'm like, for what?
Right.
I said, as many limitations. I said, for that much, you should be able to say whatever you
want to say. Right. Yeah.
And if you want to show a little dusty things here and there, that's perfectly fine.
Right. If you want to show some unoiled pieces, you should.
And unpumped.
Or moist underwear, whatever you want to show. That's your business.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll pass, but
for them to be as strict as they are with some
Right.
They don't do it with all.
And then again, it's with some, exactly, because those who spew the most or stuff, you'd be like, really, y'all let this go on a green light, but you can't talk about stuff that's really affecting people and be shunned. Every time they send me a survey thing, that's exactly what I write every time. I write it so much, it is cut and paste at this point. Okay.
You just say
the same thing over and over. Same thing over and over. And I give examples. You let this content go through with the green light, but you didn't let this one. Why is that? Please do explain. I'll be waiting for an explanation. I haven't got one yet.
Yes,
haven't got one yet. Right. Haven't got one yet. But either way, gonna still keep doing what we do, and and keep it moving. As I think we all should. It's a new year, try to be something different. Try to be a greater you today than you were yesterday. And you're not going to be perfect because we're not perfect. We all fall. You know what I'm saying? So don't look at it like, oh, somebody's trying to be like, better than the next or anything of that nature. No, trust and believe. If you come at me a certain way and I feel like addressing you, I will address you. And then I'll leave you alone. That's it. I'm done. I don't have nothing else to say. But we need to kind of harness that in a way where it's not always constantly because again, the reason why people like that other person are so comfortably using the N-word with no repercussion is because we act a certain way.
Absolutely right. Because he should have never been allowed to.
That's the truth in a nutshell, because I promise you, he can't go in the conscious sector and do that. He can't go into the splatosphere or whatever that section is and do that with them black woke people. He can't go nowhere else other than where he is right here and do that type of stuff. And it be kind of a few content creators say something about it and a few content creators don't, just because whomever he was talking about, they don't particularly like. I don't care who you don't like. You don't need to say it. Whether I agree with what you're doing to that content creator just because I don't like them, whatever. But the verbiage needs not to be used, especially not by you. And you should know that. Nobody should have to tell you, well, the history of that, you shouldn't even, nobody should have to tell you that. You know that.
That's great. You know that. You know
you can't go into your place of employment and say that.
Come on down the hood. Light your ass out.
Right. You cannot go anywhere where you know that you won't get a 2-piece and a biscuit or
and not in these days and times.
Right. Because these kids ain't playing. These kids are not the 50s and 60s and 70s. Oh, no. These kids of yesteryear. These kids here come out of your mouth, and before you get the rest of it out,
you'll be like, what? And
they'll on the ground.
And they'll film it and they shit up on World Star.
Right.
Right after it's done.
As they stand over your body talking about you got knocked the fuck out.
Yep.
I mean,
oh yeah. Definitely.
Get it to wake up. Wake up. And the only reason, and the funny part about all of this is the only reason why that person is allowed to do the doxing that he does is because he is what he is. Because he can maneuver in those sections. Because the reality is a lot of those people that are giving him that information should and would be fired.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of that information that he's getting when he's calling, he's not supposed to get.
He's not supposed to have.
At all. There are channels that they're supposed to call to get all that information. And they're supposed to double check that before they start spewing out all these different things on the phone. No way, no how.
But people from over here that have those skills should be on that ass.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. Exactly.
Like I said, you have a superpower now.
Right.
You do. You have a superpower. So might as well utilize it for some good.
That's it.
You know, I don't understand.
That's it. I don't get it. You'll do all this digging or do all this other kind of stuff on stuff that's nonsense, but stuff that matters that you should be doxing and taking down and attacking. You won't do that. but you'll talk about stuff that people can't control, or whatever the situation is at their home, or whatever situation that they're dealing with at the moment. You'll run that in the ground. But this type of stuff we won't address.
We won't address it at all. It gets crickets.
Yeah. So I think that's, when you being fake and phony. Granted, I don't watch the man, so I don't know nothing about it. I happen to be watching who's I watching? Troy Allen, and he was talking about it. And it made me just go, wow, really? Like, again, I've heard the name, and I've heard other people say that he's said it before. And then I'm just like, is he still doing this? Like, nobody's said, hey,
it's nothing at all.
There's enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't dox everybody, because trust and believe, you dox certain people, hey, that's the end of your life. You might as well wrap it up. So I don't know what the fear, like, I get it that it's a bit thing, but some of this got to stop. Like, we can't allow everything. Everything ain't just, for entertainment value, because that's not entertainment.
Especially not that. That shit's too close to
that's not entertainment. Especially with what we're dealing with right now.
Dealing with our
current climate.
Well, like I said, but that motherfucker won't tip outside and call no motherfucker.
Right. You won't go to Baltimore, depart to DC, and say that. You won't go to New York, any borough other than Staten Island, and you may not even get away from that in Staten Island, depending on where you at.
He come down here, that motherfucker, he won't even be on the milk carton.
So I mean, it's just like, come on, and it's the same thing with YouTube. You're doing it because you're comfortable in the environment, because no one's willing to address you on utilizing that or utilizing those words. That day needs to stop. Again, you could be okay with what they're saying about the person because you may not like the person. Mm-hmm. But if that content creator is going a bridge too far, there is nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm not, you're not allowed to use that. Like, don't utilize that. And that's even when content creators say the F word. If you feel some type of way about it, say it. Say it. But then you have to be on the same premise that when the other person says it, who happens to be a part of the community. Because you have to keep that balance. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
You're right. You can't log off, turn it off, ignore them.
Yeah, I mean, pay them people dust, man. That's the worst. That's the best thing you could do is pay them people dust.
Just remember, you have that control.
Right.
That is the control you have. Or your kids. I never understood that when I would hear children being cyberbullied. It's like, well, wait a minute. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard. Turn that shit off.
I never understood that. I never understood that.
Turn that shit off. When they come on my page, well, shut that goddamn page down. Make another one. Only give your close friends. And if they come over to that page, then it was one of your close friends that have given them access.
Right. Even the idea of bullying. I know that a lot of people, suffered from that or whatever. And I've had my share of people. But this
is face-to-face bullying.
I found a way to. That's what I'm saying.
Real bullying. This shit here ain't bullying.
This ain't right. This ain't.
No, And one thing I learned about bullying: you don't have to beat them; you just have to hurt them.
Right. That's it.
That's all. You just have to hurt them.
That's it.
They might stomp the shit out of you, but they won't. But they won't bump up against you.
They will remember that one time, right? They will remember that one time you got them good and dandy, and it was like, oh no, I can't, because that person ain't.
What do you tell a person here? Yeah, they were bullying me, and you know what? And he just turned that monitor off, and that was it.
Yeah.
I never understood that. It's like, how can you allow people to control you? You're in your own home.
That's it. That's it. That's your own device that you pay for. It's your own everything. So how is somebody controlling what you do, what you say, how you say it, how you move? You're worried about, I don't drop down in that person's chat because if that person see me, they're going to make me feel some type of way. I don't understand it.
It's crazy.
If it don't have nothing to do with you, just don't include yourself.
You know what? This YouTube is really a mind fuck.
It is.
It is really a mind fuck.
It really is. But it's the people too. Don't get me wrong. It's the content creators that kind of push that along.
And some of the subbies.
They're preaching
because they're the worshipers. You know.
But I mean, I've had people even write me talking about I hope you like it over there because QB and Phi Babe, you're gonna fall out with them next. Who said I was over there? I'm over there because I like what they give, just like I was over in everybody else's that I was watching when I liked what they gave. So I don't understand. It's not a thing about, I gotta make sure I don't do this because I don't want to enter. I'm there to watch it. If I don't agree with it, I don't watch it.
I'll tell you what show to watch.
Right.
Because in essence, that's what it is.
Right.
You're going to tell you what show to
turn
watch.
to. Right. You're going to tell me what to turn to. Don't turn there. Don't turn there. Don't watch this. I pay this. So I'm going to watch what I want to watch. And if I don't feel like watching it, I don't watch. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. I can't believe that people in this day and age, people that you're paying because you're giving them membership payments, you're giving them super chats, you're giving them cash apps and all these other things that you're giving them, but you're allowing them to dictate to you what you watch and who you support.
Yeah. And you're paying them.
And you paying them.
That's the mind fuck. Okay.
Now you go put some coconut oil on that shit. Okay. Because that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. I didn't understand it when I was just a part of the group. It'd be like, why? Oh, you can't really tell me why. Just don't do it. No, I need to know why. Because those don't do it ain't good enough. Because again, if whomever that person is watching me, why are you watching me? That means you're there too.
You're there too.
So if I'm not supposed to be there, how the fuck you know I'm there if you're not watching?
Oh, you know their fingers was trembling. You know they wanted to hit those keys.
This is what I'm saying. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yet, this the people that you're paying to tell you what to watch and where to go. Now I get it. If you like two content creators and they seem to be going at it, like I didn't really throw myself in there because I was just really talking about something totally different. But it's just like I don't agree with any of it. That's just it. Now, if you're going to feel mad about it on one way and mad about it on the other way because the person said what they said, all right, cool. But just be adults enough to stand in your own shit and know that you pay your own bill.
Yeah.
You pay your own bill and you have the power to go where you choose to go. And can't nobody push you out of nothing. Can't nobody push you out of nothing.
Go where you want to go.
You control this. So,
and if you get sick of it,
cut it off.
Turn them off.
Crack
go over to the left hand side of your screen and unclick them.
And unclick it. And if it's too much for you,
you should be doing that shit anyway. It's the first of the year.
And if it's too much for you and it's always popping up in your face, hide the shit. So you don't have to see it. You don't have to unsubscribe because that's what if you subscribe, you subscribe. We should all support each other in some realm. But if you don't kind of mess with the person's content anymore, if you feel like it's going too left, just don't watch. Yeah. You can hide the shit. You don't gotta watch it. You really don't.
Yeah, because you know that
it was up.
They do change. People do change.
Right.
And it's their right to change. And if you no longer enjoy what it is that they put out, just turn the shit off. Come back to them later on.
That's it. Because the reality is, again, just like we said with the other content creator, if enough of it happens, the person does change because all those financial divots start sucking out dry. They start getting dry. So then you start hey, what's going on? And you start to realize, well, maybe I did go too far. Maybe I need to change it up. Maybe I need to do this. And you start to pay notice and take notice and do what you need to do. But what we're not going to do is have it where these type of things are acceptable. That's absolutely crazy. No way.
Yeah, not when you have control.
Yeah, not when you have full control. Now, if you was over here paying my damn cable bill due to I work from home, so that's a very expensive cable bill. Now, if you was over here paying that, then sure, you have every right to tell me where the fuck to go, who the fuck to click on, who the fuck not to click on. But since I don't get no kind of assistance for my cable bill, none whatsoever, then that means you could go fuck yourself.
Even if you were giving up ass, you don't tell me what to do. I tell you, man, people just overstep their bounds, man. They just overstep their bounds, but they know who they can do it.
They're given the right to do so. They're given the right to do so, and when you check that in the beginning, whether you do it consciously or subconsciously, and I think that's may have what rubs some people wrong, because I was doing it subconsciously because I'm just thinking like, you're not okay, it's like okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see the point in that. But to me, it didn't make sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, your beef ain't got nothing to do with me. One. Mm-hmm. Two, I'm just over here just like anything else. If I cut on the TV and it's on, I'm watching it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'll decide for myself whether I want to continue to watch it or go, click. I don't like what they're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Patty Duke. That's what I do. I unsubscribe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I unsubscribe in a heartbeat. Then they become in a secondary group. What I just happen to think about at the time. Oh, let's see what they're doing now.
Right. Or whom they're talking about. Yeah. What'd you say? I'm just saying. What's this? Yeah. I mean, we can agree to disagree. We're human. Mm-hmm. We're adults.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
And there's a way to do it.
Right. There's a respectful way
to do it, where everybody gets heard, everybody's opinion, gets addressed.
But again, it's egos and pride, because then you feel like, oh, dare you, little person, a little content creator, try to address me. That's your pride. That has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with your pride and your ego, that you think that no one can address you, no one can criticize, no one can laugh at, no one can, poke fun or anything like that. We're all on here. Everybody is open season.
I was going to say it's open season. As soon as you click on that camera or don't click on that camera, or as soon as you log on and your avatar pops up, you're fair game.
You're fair game for anybody to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know that from jump. If you can't handle that, then you're in the wrong space. And I don't care how many subscribers you are. You could be big as shit. That don't mean that you ain't small.
Oh, yeah. You're small to somebody.
To a lot of people. Just not your waist. Or the scale. But, it is.
I thought she had one more.
Oh, no. I did, but I didn't. Yeah, but, it is what it is. It's, and that's it. And that's all I got. In my 2 hours and I'm done. See, that's all I got. That's all I got. On the dot. Well, a couple seconds. I'll give you a second.
Give 20 seconds. But,
it's really funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really just wish people, the new year, that we think differently. We can have, you can have a joke session with it just being jokes without you involving people's families, friends, people that don't have nothing to do with what's going on here. I think that's low. That shows lack of a lot of things. Yeah. When you can't just keep it on the content creator, because it's the content creator that you have an issue with, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. Keep it on the content creator. All that other extra stuff, I think it takes it to a place where it shouldn't be. Because the reality is, what if them people
show some restraint?
That's what I'm saying. But what if them
just show some
people
restraint? That's all.
You going for that happen
But
to
it sounds like
outside.
To me, when you start digging at children and parents and people who aren't even involved in it, that you
but then the reality
you run out of material. Then you
but then the reality is you look at their own parents or their own parenting skills and realize, oh, you grew up from ain't shit. So that's why you ain't shit.
That's when that tells you, that's the signal that it's time for you to start winding that shit down. If you don't have anything else to tell. I'm serious. That's all it is. Because if you've ran through the gambit, you can only milk the fuck out of a joke so long.
Right.
And you keep milking it, and every day it's the same thing.
But that's because they're corny, though. That's the reality, is that they're corny. And that shows you that the popularity only comes from here, because the reality outside of this is what? Nothing. You're a nothing. You're a nobody. Nobody's checking for you. Nobody's really pumping you up. This small group handful of folks is all you got. That's it. That's it.
That's only for you because they want to see you come and act a fool.
Yeah, but I mean that's it. And again, they're watching you act a fool. They're not acting a fool with you. They're watching you.
Oh no, some of them do.
I mean, yeah, of course, some of them do. Of course, again, low vibrational people vibrate on the same frequency. So of course, some of them do. But then they come when they don't think nobody's watching or seeing you do it. They come on the other end and go, "Hey, hi," and it's just like, bitch, please. I don't got to know you, okay?
No, because a lot of them move the same way.
Yeah, that's it. Like ants. And again, I'll take it from Didi Lowe. How does an elephant recognize an ant? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the reality. If you're so big, you're so this grandiose person, how the hell are you realizing something so small and minute?
No, why are you worried about it?
That's because mentally you are there. You know what I'm saying? Your insecurities are there. Your insecurities are that ant. So you're the same size. You may look like an elephant, but your inside message ant. Okay, so that's why you're so concerned.
Like a Hebrew slave, Pink. Like a Hebrew slave.
Yeah. That cat almost got hit. Okay?
I know. I was like, oh God, this would be horrible. If that cat got ran over, I would be done.
They would really be coming from him then.
Oh, I would be.
Yeah. And the one thing I wanted to say about that, the clown ass individual or individuals, and I will say this on record because I'm saying this on my platform, the clown ass individuals or persons or person who actually called the animal control people on that one incident, something is really wrong with you. In this day and age where Black men, especially, and women are being killed by the hands of police for the most smallest of infractions, that could have went totally left. That could have went totally left. I don't have none whatsoever. One, I think you people should be exposed for the dirt and scum that you are, because I think ain't no good in a lot of you, and y'all hide behind these avatars and think that you're protected. And I think a lot of that should be exposed when you do stuff like that, because that could have went totally left, and that could have been a very dangerous situation. Very dangerous situation. And I have no respect for somebody that does something like that. That was a clown ass move for clown ass people. But yet you hide behind a fucking computer screen and think you're doing something. But in your real life, probably could have jeopardized your whole entire career if it got exposed that you actually were the one that did something like that. And I hope it does come true. I really do. I pray every day that the people that do these low, grimy, low life, just despicable things to people and think that they can get away with it, get exposed. So while they're sitting behind a computer screen thinking nobody will know, honey, trust and believe, everything has an IP, okay? Everything can be traced. That's all I got to say about that. And that was my serious moment for the moment. But I was just like, that's so crazy. Like he could have.
My turn. And we become so desensitized. The man told you he was lonely. He's in a strange city. And he's alone. And I'm sure he's tired of being alone.
Right. Can't really trust people who he come in contact with that happen to be on here because everything has turned out to be something other than being trustworthy.
But he's lonely. Like so many of you are lonely.
No, because they're not willing to be women and men enough to stand in their loneliness and say, hey, I'm alone. I don't have nobody. I sit up here on this nasty, smelly ass couch and shake my titties in front of the TV screen because I'm lonely. But a lot of these motherfuckers are really lonely and they don't have no life and they don't have nobody to hold and hug onto or to call or to share intimate moments with and all this other kind of stuff. No, they don't. All they have is these other people who are in the chat. That's it.
But just to have another living being occupying the same space with some people's enough.
Yeah. No, it is.
You know, but
but then they like to see themselves having victory because they feel like they beat down on the person because the person gets emotional. And that's the part that gets me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that gets me, that I wish for him he was so much stronger than that.
Mm-hmm.
So much stronger than that.
Yeah, when he gets his own place, he can, you know, he may be able to have a pet. Which it would be better if he were to go the proper route, because in that way the animal would have shots and things like that, and possibly a younger animal.
Right,
because you don't want it to be able that one was used to being outside.
Right.
So eventually,
it was a hood
you
cat. It's a neighborhood cat. It was a
hood
cat.
So. Oh yeah. And especially that cat wasn't fixed. You see the set of nuts on that cat? He'd have been spraying up every goddamn thing in there.
No, totally disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that cat scent, piss smell don't come out of nothing.
And you already got stuff kind of compacted, so you don't want any extra things going on. Yeah.
Yeah, he could probably get a service.
Yeah, you probably could. But my suggestion is start with fish or something.
Well, I don't even think they can have fish right now.
Yeah,
fish are boring as shit, man. Get a plant. Get a plant.
Right, that's what I was thinking too. Get a plant. Yeah,
get a plant.
Yeah, that'll actually work.
Seriously, because they do respond.
Right,
and it's something to take care of, and it is a living being occupying the same space as you are.
Yep.
But it just makes me wonder about if you could not hear in what he was saying, and you
because you didn't care.
Well, I said, but then too, like I said, when you make a lot of enemies, they just seize the moment to come in.
Yeah, but I mean, really, let's be real here. Are we really making enemies on YouTube? Like, I mean, some people,
obviously they are. Them motherfuckers showing up at your house. They taking people to court. That sounds like an enemy to me.
Well, those people, yeah. But I'm talking about stuff like, you don't like it because the person talks about the time you was on when your jack thing went off when you was doing a live. Or because the person, you know what I'm saying? Like the type of thing he does, I really don't see that as somebody being like, oh, I gotta get you because you're this vile person. I don't see that. I see other people doing far worse things on here and being celebrated than the stuff he has even said or done to people. Other than using that one lady's avatar to porn bomb.
Oh yeah,
thing, which I think is wrong.
Yeah, but you're right, Global. To make some content, because it has been relatively quiet after.
Yeah. I mean, and it should be. It should be.
Yes, because last year was enough.
Always. So yeah. And thank you for the Cash App. Somebody did come through with the Cash App. I did see Pop Course Scream. Thank you so much. And God bless.
Yeah, see, you did that all wrong. You should have said they're talking about striking my channel. send Cash Apps.
No,
I need to stay afloat.
Unfortunately, I am blessed enough not to do that. But if you wish to do so, you are more than welcome to do so. It definitely will be greatly appreciated. But I enjoy you guys coming and hanging out with me as I rant and run my mouth during this time, and we have a good time. Well, we can be messy, but not disgustingly ratchet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have to ask you about one. I can't do it.
Sure.
So no, I can't tell you. I can't do that shit now.
Why?
Because I'm starting the year off right.
It's early. You have time to repent.
No. Oh no. This is a good one. I have to think about this.
All right. So with that said, you guys, it's that time. I gave you 12 minutes extra, actually a whole 2 hours and 12 minutes extra of my time.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. Some things change, some things stay the same.
He started rubbing his eyes, getting fidgety.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm ready to get off of here.
Okay. Well, again, I'd like to congratulate the green sector for coming into existence.
Yes, definitely. Congrats to the green sector. Congrats to somebody actually taking an initiative to promote something different in a sector where people just think, oh, it's only beefing. We should just only beef and go at each other. That we can have a balance of some good and some not so good.
Yeah. It should all be equal.
To show that, we are balanced individuals. We're not just all about one thing or one noted. And shout out to the people who, are pushing that forward and pushing that initiative. And if you feel like going to check them out, please do go check the different content creators out. Now, whether you agree or disagree with the actual content creator, try to be supportive of the movement and the cause that they are trying to promote.
Go ahead and subscribe to them. There are a lot of new content creators. There are a lot of old ones. Go over there, give them a second look.
A lot of times we miss the message because we're mad at the messenger, and we need to stay focused on the message and not so much our anger towards the messenger. So definitely check it out. Please do so. It's the green sector. Like I said, it's Eds Hutchinson and
Vivian
and
D-Cop for Life.
D-Cop for Life, right?
And I don't know. Just head over
some
to
other
S. Hutchinson.
Content creators.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Shelly, S. Hutchinson has a list with all of the new content creators.
Of the content creators, I think it's on her community wall.
It's on her community wall.
Yeah, so definitely go check that out. And take a good look. I mean, granted, we could all do with looking at other things other than a lot of the mess all the time. So,
and it's nice to know that something else can grow from over
just
here.
Grow, yeah, and just grow. There's enough money for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
It's on the floor. It's on the floor. And again, the best way to show some people that you are dissatisfied with what they've been saying or how they've been moving lately is to just go somewhere else. Take your attention and your super
chat and your money and your super chats and your concerns someplace else.
And find somebody that's more aligned to the way that you think and what you want to see and the content that you want to be exposed to.
Again, because as I always used to say and still say sometimes, you have to be the change that you want to see. I know some people have been using that.
I was getting ready to say
all the time, but I've always said that you have to be the change that you want to see. So we have to make sure that we are being the changes that we want to see. If you want to see change, you have to embody that change and be it. You can't expect people to be the change that you want to see for you. You have to do that. And when you start to do that within yourself, you'll see it. You definitely will see it. It takes some time and takes some steps, but you'll get there. You'll get there. Trust me and believe it.
And Tanari, happy birthday again, baby.
Happy birthday again, Tanari. And I will probably text you at 12 o'clock. So please let your husband.
You trying to get some. You might be trying to get some that first.
No, I always text someone for the 12 o'clock on their birthday. That's what I do. If I'm up and I realize it, then I'll text you. To try to be the first one to say happy birthday.
Oh Lord, okay.
Don't do it.
Well, that's right.
Stop.
She is one of your wives, so.
Yes, right. And she's one of my YouTube wives.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So, I gotta keep it on point.
So do your thing.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, big brother. Thank you. All right. And that being said, I'm really going. And to all, you have any parting words, sir? Before I
be safe. Keep your head on the swivel. Watch out for these crackers. They're crazy.
Yes. Please watch out for the crackers. Wear your mask, please.
Wear your mask. Wash your hands.
Yes. Do all that good stuff.
Just take care of yourself.
Yeah, please take care of yourself and take care of each other. We all we got. All right. So we're not doing this alone and by ourselves. We are all we have. So it's all good to crack a joke, but sometimes we got to realize when we're going too far and maybe touching too deep into some people.
Yeah, reel it in a little bit
and pull it back a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. And with that said, God bless. Good night. Happy birthday, Tanari, and enjoy.
Happy birthday, girl. Enjoy.
Don't party too hard. And until next time, America, be the change. Remember that you want to see. All right, peace.